This is the Refinery featuring Free Radical Network, the Party of Choice, and the Conservative Union here on Vigilant Liberty Radio.
And good evening. It is Tuesday, January 6th, 2015, first show of the new year. This is the Refinery. It's the place where grassroots organizations come together to explore the best way to make conservative messaging work. We're live every Tuesday, 8:30 Central, or 8:45, whichever happens, at therefineryshow.com. If you want to subscribe to our YouTube channel, we would really appreciate that, and you can watch this video at your leisure. We also have a podcast that's available at Vigilant Liberty US, vigilantliberty.us, is that right, guys? Yes, no, maybe? And we're also on iTunes, Stitcher, or TuneIn. All the links are on the website, therefineryshow.com. I am Leslie P. I'm with the Conservative Union. We've got three folks here from Free Radical Network, Fishy and JD, our regulars, and we have a newbie, Stefan Glaug. Glaug, is that right? Yes?
Yes.
And he's from North Carolina, and we just got in Cori and Andy from the Party of Choice. They're here. They're getting their act together. They'll be along shortly.
It's those Coloradans. They're on that mountain time.
You betcha. You betcha. You betcha. Where am I from? God, jeez.
Alaska, apparently. The big news, I guess the big thing for today is this is our 1-year anniversary. It was just about a year ago. Actually, it was exactly a year ago that we started getting together, these three groups, the Conservative Union, Free Radical Network, and the Party of Choice, to talk amongst ourselves about messaging and how to make the conservative case a little bit more elegantly, more successfully. And we did that in a private message format for quite a while, and then we decided, oh heck, why not just broadcast it live, see if it benefits anybody else, and we did that. And this is the 30th show that we're making live and available to the masses on YouTube. And big news, super big news, we got our YouTube channel hooked up with an AdSense account, and we now have an estimated income rolling in from these YouTube videos and the advertising of 4 cents. So we are 40% of the way towards making 1 red dime on this production. We are getting so rich. The money is rolling in. Now, of course, I don't think YouTube sends you a check until your balance is over $100. So sometime in the year 2121, we'll be getting a check.
That's if we stay diligent and we manage to tag all of our videos right and all of that stuff. We'll be there. We might actually get to 200 subscribers by the year 2121. Yeah, it'll be good.
We aren't anything at all like the SEO spammer type people that just go out for subscribers and all that kind of stuff. But that's okay. So happy anniversary to us. Happy anniversary, everybody. This has been a good year. And
yeah.
Guess what? Our efforts at trying to figure out a better way to put the conservative message together, thanks to us, the Republicans now have the biggest lead in state houses and the House of Representatives and the Senate that we've had in over a century. So you're welcome, America.
Yeah, absolutely. That had a lot to do with us. Granted, that when we started this whole project, it was actually an effort to sort of better know our Congress people and senators, not even Congress people and senators, but the people who are running for Congress and Senate. Mm-hmm. And we actually did manage to interview a couple of people who were running in primaries here in the state of New Jersey for Senate, Brian Goldberg and Rich Pizzullo. Thank them very much for still having pretty high numbers on their videos. And then we eventually interviewed Jeff Bell, who ran for Senate. And that was pretty cool, and that is still our #1 most seen video, like 400 views or something. That's crazy.
And those were some great interviews. They really were.
Well, and the cool thing about it was that the questions for those interviews came from here. We focus grouped them. We talked about what it is, what was really important for people to know. What wasn't really asked as much.
Right, the
of our
non-standard
candidates.
types of things that would really help you if in a primary race. What are the things that conservatives need to know to pick the best conservative candidate, and what's going to help us know which one is most likely to win in November, and those kinds of things. We really got some questions that these guys are not used to being asked, and I think that was a good thing. And I'd like to do more of that next go round, because the primaries really are far more important, I think, to pushing the GOP in the direction we want. If we want to reform the GOP, we got to do it at the primaries,
Yes,
not in November.
I'm sure we'll be talking a lot more about that later on in the show. But as a part of the birthday celebration, before we get into heady politics that happened today, I do want to thank Tim, who he shared our video from Sunday, or from Monday. I'm sorry, from Monday, our clip from Monday from last week's show, and just wrote up a beautiful just praise for the show. It was really, really cool, and it was so awesome that Fishy shared a picture of the comment on our Facebook page, on the Free Radical Network Facebook page, and it got shared, Fishy.
It did. One of the good friends that we have, JD and I specifically argue politics. Yeah.
Good friend.
Yeah. We argue politics with all the time. He is a history professor, history teacher, and is always looking for a good fight, a good debate. He shared it, and it was just so stunning. First of all, that this dyed-in-the-wool, die-hard liberal thought enough of the work that we do, the things that we are about at this show, to share that, and with all of his liberal friends, to share the comment that was made by Tim, which is just, again, a phenomenal compliment. He's so.
You have it in front of you. Read it out. Come on, read Tim's word. I'm
okay,
right now.
I'm going to read the share first. He says, our guy Bill said, "To my liberal progressive friends, you should drop in on these folks. You won't agree with them much. I don't. But you won't agree with them and won't need to punch the wall, take an antacid, or take up binge drinking as a recreational hobby to cope with the experience, as I have had to do after listening to Rush and his local cohorts for a few months. It's always good to hear from the other side. Sometimes they have a point." And then, sort of. And then he says,
Sort of.
And then he says, "I hope I didn't get too gushy with the praise." So, thank you, Bill. That's a very high compliment. And then from Tim himself, which again was just so sweet, Tim Lewis, he said, "Are you sick and tired of the rage treadmill of traditional talk radio shows like Rush Limbaugh, The Blaze, and Mark Levin? Listen to the Refinery show. When traditional talk radio can't find anything really big to get angry about, they either go out and find something or dig up something old, because that's how they get listeners, and as entertainers, getting an audience, which makes their advertisements more valuable, is all they really care about. Rage really does sell." And then Tim goes on to say, "In contrast, when the people from Conservative Union, Free Radical Network, and the Party of Choice get together in the Refinery," and he says, "realistic solutions to problems from a conservative viewpoint, and what the best approach to counter the efforts of the left to control people while maintaining a positive outlook. Yes, they are seriously disturbed by the actions of the left, and yes, it does upset them when the left gets by with things through lies and deception. But they are also just as disturbed when conservatives do just as much, if not more, harm by wasting their energy raging about insignificant and sometimes even untrue things, and tearing down and destroying people that they agree with for the most part. We should be people who say, There is hope for us, and we can win. We just have to try. Listen to the Refinery Show, and you will get the information and strategies you need to be effective in combating the left's control tactics. Thank you so much, Tim.
It was like the most beautiful love letter, and we didn't even pay him for it.
Because we only have the 4 cents, and it doesn't go this many ways around.
Yeah, and we have to pay for, these sets, these excellent...
Right?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough.
And you should have seen the special effects that Stefan was trying out earlier, because he's going to be...
No, don't do
it again. No, don't.
I had 64 teeth.
There was no lie, y'all. He had a special effect on the camera software, and it was like a fisheye lens thing, and it was on his teeth, and they were huge. It was pretty hilarious. It was funny, but we made him turn it off first. So thanks so much to Tim for what he said. We really appreciate that, and I think it's really cool that somewhere out there in liberal land there's somebody who's heard of the Refinery. I think that's pretty cool too, but it's over on some social network it starts with an F. I don't really pay any attention to.
Oh my goodness. Google plus snob at just why you gotta be like that?
I don't know. I logged into Facebook earlier today. I was all kinds of confused and befuddled. I didn't really know what was going on, so I ran away.
Well, I wouldn't blame you for running away today.
Yeah. Okay, so now it's time to talk what happened today. So today was the first day of the 114th Congress. Yay! So it is official today. We are the masters of the universe. Because the Senate opened today too, right? Or was it just the House?
Nope, the Senate too.
Senate too? So 114th Congress is in session, and the Republicans are in control of both houses, and it's pretty freaking awesome. And we've got a bigger lead than we've had in, 100 years or something? I mean, I don't really pay that much attention to all the stats of this stuff, but I see comments back and forth that in the election the Democrats are defeated to an extent they haven't been since the turn of the last century or something ridiculous. It's a pretty major majority that we have at this point. And so lest we feel good about ourselves, the one thing that what we have to do as Republicans, instead of just having a good time and having a party on the opening day of Kick Butt Congress 114, we had to have the election for the Speaker of the House, and that had to become an opportunity for us to decide to hate each other. In other words, it was an opportunity for John Boehner to get reelected Speaker of the House, which was always going to happen because there wasn't, as Felicia said in her brilliant article today, there wasn't a plan for victory for anyone else. There was a plan. John Boehner had a plan for how he was going to win and be reelected Speaker of the House. Nobody else had a plan for how they were going to defeat the incumbent, the very powerful, very experienced, very shrewd incumbent, John Boehner. There wasn't one guy who had a big overarching, definitely going to be successful plan, or even a justification for his victory or his being able to be the Speaker of the House. And so when there isn't a plan for victory or a reason for victory, there isn't victory. John Boehner was always going to win re-election, and he did. And there are an awful lot of people today who are expressing their anger and expressing their disappointment, and it's kind of difficult to just look past it because I want to argue with them. But by the same token, I understand their disappointment and I understand their frustration because John Boehner is not the world's greatest Speaker of the House.
He's not even in the top 50. He's bad. Not a great Speaker of the House. We don't like John Boehner.
What I really would love to have is the GOP equivalent